Yo. The fuck is up, everybody? It's your man 3K the Boss, aka Mr. Two Hands Up. Bye, bye. You already know what it is, man. Good morning, happy Saturday to everybody and shit like that. Hope everybody well. Kicking this thing off mighty fucking early, man. You know what I mean? Keeping them talk some boxing shit. Why not? Coffee and boxing, man. Seems like it goes well together. Fuck it, let's get it. Hope everybody good. Mr. Pigeon's Obscure Boxing and Sports. Salute. It said Parker's pathetic. Yeah, man. If you look at that fucking I tried to squeeze both of the pictures in, but it wouldn't let me minimize them the way I wanted to. I tried to fit them all in one, but I mean, if anybody's seen the thumbnail, you will see that pretty much fucking Joseph Parker and Tyson Fury is like chest to back at Fury's fucking absolute worst. And I don't know. That just seemed to be like a reoccurring thing with like Fury and like getting extra close. Like I don't know, man. The brother, like the Tyson Fury brotherhood and like that type of relationship he got with his homeboys might be a little bit different than the way we might like to kick it with our people. But I mean, hey, that's him. I mean, if the other motherfucker is willing and y'all comfortable with it, shit. Who am I to judge? I ain't God, but fuck. I'm only human, so I mean, I would have to say it's kind of fucking suspect. But at the end of the day, look at this guy right here. The guy in the icon, if you just look at him, it's been a few days now, and I've been hearing everything people have been putting out on Twitter and everything people have been saying about his physique and his size and all of that shit right now. Everybody's gassed. Everybody's gassed. They happy with what they see. I don't know if I don't particularly like him that small. Now, don't get it twisted. This is shit that I've already said that Tyson Fury is going to have to do if he wants to be able to have a certain level of output and to be able to box fluently off the back foot, popping the jab, and doing the things he needs to do to be more successful than Anthony Joshua in that fight. Yeah, I said he was going to have to come down in weight, but that much though, man, this motherfucker look like a goddamn. This nigga look like he got the physique of goddamn Mark Breland right now. Look at this dude. This nigga's got the physique of Mark Breland, he complete, Cato. What the fuck is this nigga doing? Weight Watchers, Cato, and Richard Simmons workout tapes? This dude has lost a lot of weight. Now, you know what I'm saying? Losing weight is good, helps you out. You can move a lot more, but at the same time, man, you don't want to lose that much weight. I mean, of course, his weigh-in gonna be different, but this ain't. We don't even got a fight day yet. That's what he walking around like right now. Like, that's hella fucking small, dude. He's gonna have to. He's gonna have to put it on Joshua. But to be that small, and everybody's super questionable about his chin when it comes to less than the most upper echelon opponents. You know what I'm saying? It's not the highest caliber opponents that we've seen Tyson Fury's chin tested. We've seen him in trouble. I don't know if I like him being that small for real. I like him carrying a little bit of imposing weight, but at the same time, I am under the school of thought that yes, he does have to lose some weight so he can have a much better balance throughout the course of the fight, because you should always be thinking 12 rounds in entirety. You should never be thinking, I'm getting him up out of there early. And I know Tyson Fury isn't thinking that when it comes to Anthony Joshua. That's not necessarily his game. But if you look at him right here, y'all like that weight? He's too thin. Yeah, he's thin. Everybody gassing this size, bro. And it's completely opposite of the type of success that, I know his father want with him. Like, Tyson Fury is 6'9". He can carry around a lot more weight. The fact that he can move the way he does just goes with his just God-given abilities, his aesthetics. The ability, that's just, you can't coach that. So if you can carry around a little more, by all means, be my guest. But don't bring it down to where it's like this dude don't even look like a heavyweight right now. If he was just proactively living his life to think outside of boxing, yeah, that's a Tyson Fury we would all want to see, because you get physically looking at him, you will get a better understanding of where he's at mentally in the twilight years of his life. But we're talking about him coming up on the biggest fight of his life. We ain't talking about this man closing the boxing chapter just yet. That shit don't really look good to me. It doesn't. I'm all for people taking care of themselves, but damn. Yeah, he absolutely. Like I said, I would like to see him come down to about 260, 265-ish. You know what I mean? But like, I don't know, man. He's small, man. Dude is small. And Joshua packs a wallop. You know, you can critique the things that they do different or whatever, but I don't care. Like, there's only one or two ways that I can see this fight going. He's either going to do one or two things. He's going to box his head off, or he's going to try to pressure him. Well, now that we see where his weight is at, we know what he's planning on doing. It don't take a rocket scientist to figure it out. If he's coming down in weight, his plan is to outbox him. He ain't looking for a knockout. If it comes, it comes. But his plan is to outbox him, stay away from the power. And for him to be that light, I'm like, shit, I don't see Tyson Fury really, like, come on, man. I'm sure Sugar Hill Stewart is just sitting back like, yeah, it wouldn't be our best bet. We can't lean on this guy. We can't lean on this guy. We can't risk standing on the inside because this dude loves the uppercut. So you're not going to lean on him. So the weight is just telling me that he's planning on finesse boxing. Boxer puncher shit. Which is cool because that tells me that I'm going to get the best fucking possible fight that I'm asking for from a Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua fight, because his road to success, I mapped it that way. So he has to come down. If he wants to be the most threatening Tyson Fury that I feel as though he needs to be in fighting Anthony Joshua. But this, whew, chain with the ice though. Mr. T, salute. Brian, salute. Grove, salute. TK, salute. Is it, yeah, like if you look at everything that's going on and being said in the media, the only person that's talking is him and his father. And I keep going back and I keep saying, it's just like, yo, all of the mental warfare and all of the things that you can say out your mouth isn't necessarily going to work with this individual. You know, you can try to sit up. You got too much space in between you. It's too much stuff going on in the world and shit like that. I don't even think Anthony Joshua was just, he's in the best space of his life for this fight. I don't think all of the extra shit that you would necessarily have to worry about, I don't think he has to worry about that right now. All you got to do is just stay down and keep training. You're not really hearing anything from his camp. The only person that's speaking are those that are representing him. Anthony Joshua's just doing what the fuck he's supposed to do. Now, you know, Tyson Fury father, he's jumping in it. He's talking. No Tyson Fury talking and all of that stuff. My whole thing is none of the conversations really even matter to me until I see a fight date. I keep hearing this is going to happen and that's going to happen. We don't have anything concrete yet. So I'm not getting too far ahead of other than what I see. But I see everybody's ecstatic about his physique. I just don't know why. Unless his plan was to just come down so fucking far and then just kind of just build it back up with muscle mass. Because a motherfucker who carries around a lot more fat than muscle, yeah, you would slim it down to be able to put it back on that muscle, but you could have just turned that into muscle too. Every bit of it. Every bit of it, bro. Man, look, I walk around 6 foot, 180, like a buck 80, a buck 85, depending on how my weight fluctuate. I eat weird. This nigga you can't tell me that's 6'9", over 250 pounds. There's no way in hell, bro. I'm trying to factor it, the weight distribution and the height. It don't even seem like I've never seen Tyson Fury that small before. Even in Tyson Fury's smallest fights, I ain't never seen Tyson Fury look that small. Y'all ever seen Tyson Fury look this fucking small? I just don't. Mm-hmm. And then here's another thing too. If you spending so much time losing weight and focusing on losing weight, where's strength and conditioning coming in? I mean, you focusing a lot on endurance, conditioning your endurance and all of that stuff. Well, I'm just saying, you can't focus the whole time on losing weight. I don't know if this was a part of the plan to get it out the way early. Who knows? I don't know what his plan is, but he don't gotta come down like that. Like that shit, that's not heavyweight boxing weight. Not the Tyson Fury you or I are used to seeing. I just don't I don't see I don't for me, yo, like that ain't the right look. Nathan Kerr, salute. Good morning to you too, sir. Hey, baby knows Josh was far more dangerous than Tyson Fury on the inside. Yeah, Josh was definitely more dangerous than Tyson Fury on the inside. Tyson Fury has a good inside game, but the thing is, if you up close, if you had to bet the last couple of dollars in your pocket, and it came down to a phone booth action, and you got Tyson Fury on the inside, and you got Anthony Joshua on the inside, put them both there for 30 seconds to a minute. Who you think gonna be standing up? I think Tyson Fury will probably be on the floor. All on how he working. And Joshua's clinch game is hella suspect. His clinch game is hella suspect. So those are areas Tyson Fury could take advantage of too. But his weight ain't saying I'm taking advantage of the inside. It's saying I'm taking advantage of the outside. I'm taking advantage of this boxing. I want to make sure that I'm not gassed and I'm going to have the ability to box round by round. But shit, not necessarily having all the weight in the world don't mean you're not gonna hurt him. Cause shit, speed and accumulation of punches, we all know equals powers too. So I don't know. Like I don't. But at the same time, it's like, yo, I can't see this dude going out there and throwing punches like he's Leo Santa Cruz in that division. I don't see that shit out of nobody. It's been a long time since we've got a Ike Ibeabuchi versus a David Tua. I mean, unless you want to count Chris Arreola versus Adam Kalinowski, but that shit was a fucking joke. Not the same, not at all. Yeah, I don't see Tyson Fury's output being any more than how many shots y'all think per round. At that weight, I'd give him anywhere maybe 30 to 50, maybe if I'm being generous. But shit, that's a lot of punches, man. Right. I think that, but Joshua, I think Joshua would love to have him on the inside. That's why I don't think they would even adapt to it because it just seems like that's where Joshua most comfortable. Because if you look at Joshua's success rate when it comes to being on the inside, usually the other opponent goes down. So I would think they would try to avoid that at all costs. Now, if Tyson Fury is trying to be a nuisance, clinching him up, boxing him, getting dirty, pushing him around, getting back outside, jabbing him up. If Josh will get close to planning on clinching him up and just being a complete fucking nuisance to him, then yeah. But other than that, I wouldn't see why he would want to clinch other than doing that. Other than just to disrupt Joshua's patterns of flow. If I was Fury, I would put my weight on Joshua. Yeah, yeah. That's the number. Like, being for Tyson Fury to be that big, it is one thing that I can honestly say that just genuinely works in his favor. It's a hell of a bailout plan. His weight. His weight is a hell of a bailout plan. He lays it on you, he mauls you with it, he gets big, and he puts it in a position where even the referees have a problem with dealing with this dude leaning. Because you got two big ass guys in front of you. The referee ain't never really that big, so it's hard just pushing them off. So he taking advantage of the referee not even having the ability to get him off and everything. So hell yeah. And in the later rounds, it's a hell of a successful thing that you find a lot of success with something like that. It definitely is. It definitely is a good characteristic to have up in your game, man. Like the ability to do something like that and just lean and just make it ugly and tire a motherfucker out. Because you see in his areas of deficiency, that's what he does. And it works. And it gets to the point to where you just can't get him up off you. But the only difference is you're dealing with an individual with entirely different core strength, entirely different strength from the ground up. So you might try that, but you got to think too. He can try that shit. It could be ugly for him. Joshua could pivot him, hook him, pivot him, uppercut him. I don't know if it's necessarily worth it. I think, you know what I'm saying, round by round as it plays out, you might necessarily get to see, but who knows how one of them might just come out there and try to jump on the other one for real. I think if I was Anthony Joshua, I'd try to go out there and jump on him first. For real. If I was Anthony Joshua, I'd bring it in close. It's going to have to kind of do that regardless, but I would test his chin early. I'd want to test his chin early and see all of the shit that he's made up of. Because to be perfectly honest, if you can't think outside of Vladimir Klitschko and Deontay Wilder, I mean, where are you going to go? You're going to think of Otto Wallen? You're going to think of Steve Cunningham? What you going to think of Tom Squaws? You're going to think of Derek Chisora? So I want to put the hammer to him. Like I would really want to see everything he's made up of, because for real, it's gonna come to a point where both of them go like, all right, there's a certain level to where we know Anthony Joshua was real just due to the consistent pattern of opposition, regardless of what haters are saying. Nah, you know, there's a level of we know Tyson Fury's real too, but there's just certain areas where Tyson Fury got a question mark. Or you know what I'm saying, if you're on the opposing team, well, you can look at it like, yo, I'm gonna test that shit to see if he's really real. And you can look at the other guy and be like, yo, if you really feel like he's a robot, if you feel like he's not made up of certain shit, you could put pressure on Anthony Joshua to see if his gas tank is real too. But we've seen in the last two fights, Anthony Joshua is carrying weight different. He not walking around big and bulky. Strength there. Weight distribution different. Movement different. Time that he has in between it, he's had a lot of time. So the skill set is going to continue to increase. But I like, yo, coming from both sides of it, yeah, I would have to test out the gate. Both of them should test each other. Fuck yeah, like think of like what Kenny Bayless, Kenny Bayless between Fury and Deontay Wilder. I was more worried about Kenny Bayless than I was worried about Deontay Wilder. Real shit. It got to a point to where it was like, man, Kenny Bayless is going to need some assistance in here, because this nigga's looking like a piece of lunch meat right now. You smash in between two pieces of bread the way they smushing on this dude. Kenny Bayless was complete French fries in there. You were too small. Like, yo, like yo, boxing, for real. Like, can we get some 6'4", some 6'4", like 6'3" ish, 6'5" ish kind of referees up in there? Because you won't get one of them old heads hurt, man. I think there should be a cap, yo. Like, referees start getting old, send them to a smaller division or some shit like that. Because when it comes to them heavyweight, yo, they can't push them off of them. And every motherfucker second count, bro. Tyson Fury take advantage of that shit. Look at every one of Tyson Fury's fights. If ever whatever else doesn't work out, or if ever he finds himself in trouble, the weight is the bailout. The referees not being able to get his attention to get him off of him. Oh yeah, it's all a tactic. It's all a tactic. Call it whatever you want to call it, but it's a good one. Because if you got it, fuck it. Use it. AJ's boxing is becoming more polished. I feel he's going to show some routes to the body against Fury. Yeah, man. Yeah. And you can tell he's starting to try to put some more, body attacks into his game more and more. Like for me, like I said, if I'm Anthony Joshua, I'm going out that joint immediately. Like Tyson Fury, all upper body movement, shit like that. I'm attacking his body. I ain't even worried about Tyson Fury head. It's gonna be there. But if Anthony Joshua just goes out there, lays into his fucking basement enough, and floods that bitch out, he's going to motherfucking drop his hands. And we all know Tyson Fury can get put on the canvas by a cruiserweight. So we don't think Anthony Joshua could put him there. So yeah, if I was Anthony Joshua, I would just be heavy on their body attack. That nigga Tyson Fury be walking out the ring with his body looking like that should be blurple. The nigga's stomach is going to look like a thing of Smucker's grape by the time the match is over. That's how much body work I'm going to put in. And who knows, like for real, like you can have all of the upper body movement in the world. The stomach don't move, man. That little body don't move. So why not take something from Fury earlier? His ability, the way to get away from him. Because that's the one thing I would try to get at Fury quick on. His elusive abilities, man. Take that shit away from him. Make it harder for him to get up off that fucking stool round by round. And then go for the kill after 5 after. But yeah, I'll be like Joel Diaz at that body. AJ got to tear that body up, constantly touch him up, even if it's on the arms. Yeah, you got to hit him anywhere you can get him. You got to hit him anywhere you can get him. And he's got enough power to where no matter where he hits him, he's going to feel him. And contrary to belief, Tyson Fury's a big dude. He's got enough power to where he hits AJ, he's going to feel it. The thing Tyson Fury needs to do going into this situation is Tyson Fury just needs to plant his feet. He needs to plant his feet and he needs to follow through the shot. He got to commit to his punches too. He stands too square. He throws his punches very square. If he actually puts some torque on that thing, twitch his hips a little bit and lay into it, Tyson Fury might have some real knockout power. But if you look at the way Tyson Fury fights, he stands square and he shoots the grab straight from the chest. It ain't like it's not coming at any angle. That's not good. He's losing his power that way. If he motherfucking if he commits to that punch, he might rock that nigga motherfucking bells, man. Because realistically, either one of these motherfuckers could get knocked out. Either one of them could get outboxed. Because my thing is, and the reason I continue to lean heavier towards Anthony Joshua is because I just watched you get outboxed by Otto Wally. I've watched Steve Cunningham put you on the ground. I've never seen you defend the title, and I look at the level of opposition consistently, and there's no way that I could pick Tyson Fury. For me, I just don't do the favoritism shit. Shit, I say people just going to be affected a little bit different by it because fans are fans. But for me, I go through the person who's a little bit more tried and true, the person who's got a little bit more power. And if we're going to talk about chins, I would rather say that I'd rather see, if I'm looking at both heavyweights, a true heavyweight knocking you on your ass compared to a solid cruiserweight knocking you on your ass. I mean, I question more things on Tyson Fury's side. So my thing is, can he deal with the power? Can he deal with how quick this kid is learning and his ascension? I don't know. Tyson Fury, he turns up on it. He'll turn up on a bum. Deontay Wilder, he falls in that category of a bum. So don't try to leave him out of there, any fanboys out there. So that's why it's like different. But do I ignore Tyson Fury's skills and what he brings to the table? No. But when it comes down with me, it's just the body of work. It's the body of work. It's everything. So that's why I'm more pro Anthony Joshua in the situation. Both of them could get knocked out, but I just feel like the little hiccups Anthony Joshua got, we seen more out of Joshua than we seen out of Tyson Fury. I think I can honestly, assess what I've seen out of both gentlemen, and I can honestly say that. He said, all right, fellas. What up, Fizz? He said, I lean towards AJ or White when it comes to Fury. Dylan White, power, smack. I don't know. I like to see that fight though, so I could, that's kind of one of them fights to where it's like I really wouldn't know where to put my money, but I'd be so interested to see what happened because stylistically it's kind of weird. I think stylistically it favors Fury, but it's one of the ones I would definitely like to see. I honestly wouldn't know where to put my money in that fight. AJ consistently in the gym too, man. He's a true student of the game. Gotta respect the brother. Look, man, I respect anybody that's putting down their hard work. Shit, I respect Tyson Fury too for what he did. I used to be a fat dude. I know how hard it is to weather that storm. Shit, just getting away from the refrigerator is the toughest battle because food is like a high. That shit like a drug. It make you want it. Sugars on the late night. Steaks 24/7 a day. Anything fucking deep fried. Anything that's bad for you tastes absolutely great. So yeah, commend him and to get himself in fighting shape and to pimp the game the way he did and pretty much take Deontay Wilder's payday. Because I would definitely rather see Tyson Fury get the payday than Deontay Wilder because he don't deserve it. That motherfucker don't deserve to be in any type of nine-figure fight. Period. Can't believe the world was almost fucking crazy enough to give this man 9 figures just to relieve him of a belt. And this dude was so much of a coward, he wouldn't even take it. But fuck him. Yeah, I definitely would like. I'm definitely glad it's Tyson Fury. But Tyson Fury definitely he get my respect too, man, because he know how to play the game. It's just like, yo, I just don't think Tyson Fury has realized, like, in this particular fight, I don't think him and his father realized that they just sound like two heckling Beckys right now. And that's not saying necessarily how anybody else in the boxing world feels, but for me, that's how Two Hands feels. I truly don't think that they don't know that this shit's not gonna work. You sound like two fucking Beckys, bro. You sound like two hair roller warriors. Fingernails up, head underneath a fucking laundry dryer, a hair dryer. Y'all know what I meant. Manny and petty type of behavior. Like it becomes to a point where it's like, yo, y'all want motherfuckers to shut up. Y'all want Eddie Hearn to shut up. We want you to shut the fuck up. You were just saying the other, like, yo, these dudes don't know what they want to do. He was just saying that, the fight with Anthony Joshua was off a week ago. A couple weeks before that, what I'm saying, he was shouting out Daniel Kinahan for the fact of for setting up the biggest fight in boxing history. So you go from thanking Daniel Kinahan and saying you fighting Deontay Wilder now when the fucking fight's off to now that Eddie Hearn just needs to shut up, put up a shut up or whatever. There's this thing that I guess they really believe that, everybody just thinks that, hey, if everything goes wrong, it's all on Eddie. Like he is the greatest promoter over there in the world with him. Like Bob Arum's like this fucking great stand-up fucking guy. It's kind of weird, man. Yeah, man. That's a rough fight. That's a rough, aggressive fight. But you want to know what's even better than the fight? Like, oh my God, the sound bites from those press conferences. Could you imagine that? Dillian White and Tyson Fury in a presser? Man, if that fight only would have got mandated and Dillian White would have been able to back this kid into a wall, hey man, could you imagine how those dudes would have been freaking verbally slinging darts at each other? Them shit's cutting like swords, I promise. Those dudes ain't holding nothing back. I guarantee shit, Dean might even exercise a little bit of unprofessionalism, and he might even have to say something. Shit, Big John Fury, he's going to exercise all the unprofessionalism in the world, and he's definitely going to be fucking saying something. He's probably going, you're going to have to leave, set aside 10 minutes at a press conference for John Fury and one of his grand, one of his grand speeches that he likes to spring onto the whole boxing world. I just think that shit would be, for real, that would be great for the heavyweight division. Don't y'all agree? You take two personalities like this, stick them in the room together. Both of them, they really don't take shit. Both of them, they can't stand fucking gas. Like, they can't stand being gassed up. It's pretty cut and dry what that shit have turned into. I think the sound bites would be way better than fucking Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua shit. They kind of all do. They kind of all do. And it's kind of crazy to me how everybody falls underneath. Everybody's just pretty much walking in a line of fire with two freaking pails of gasoline and shit, just waiting to be assaulted by the media, by the boxing world, get all the fingers pointed at them. But when it comes to Al Heyman, PBC, Errol Spence, a majority of the stable of their fighters, Jamal Charlo and his fucking ducking ass and underclass fighters fighting ass. Like, if you take all of these individuals, you put them into one, and you think about all of the attention that they don't get, it just kind of baffles my mind that these are the one. Like, what do these motherfuckers do that doesn't make them the topic of every conversation in the most derogatory of ways? Because you never hear these motherfuckers like getting dragged underneath the mud. Like, yo, we drag them through the mud, but the media doesn't. Shit, you got Stephen A. Smith talking about Deontay Wilder deserved to fight the loser. He ain't even fought. This dude hasn't even came out of his fucking pastel pink fucking house in Alabama. I don't know if it's pink, but he got the attitude of a pink house rocking motherfucker. But he deserves to fight the loser of Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury. So you just trying to usher this fucking asshole right back into a payday. Stephen A. Smith, what type of crack are you smoking that's got your fucking hairline zipped and receding like shit? I don't understand it. You so close to where you have, and look how 2021 is going. Look at all of the great fights you've been getting. Main events on the zone side have been pretty much 50-50. No complaints here. And the schedule is still getting lit as fuck. Then we finding out, we still moving in Devin Haney versus Linares, and we're still going to get Javier Fortuna versus Ryan Garcia. The young guys putting on. It doesn't bother. Why is it not a conversation in media right now that Devin Haney's about to fight Jorge Linares? Ryan Garcia just fought Luke Campbell. He's about to fight Javier Fortuna. What the fuck has Jamal Charlo done? Like, that shit. How do these stones go unturned? This dude, Al Heyman is the one dude that just don't even gotta say shit, that walk around with more fucking clout in boxing than fucking anybody. Apparently, I don't fucking know. He shouldn't. He on a fucking sinking ship over there, but the media loves to keep it afloat. There's a disconnect. I don't get it. You got talented fighters, young, fighting talented opposition. So you got a stable who don't fight shit, who doesn't do shit, who completely keeps it, who inbred fight stable. They will not step outside of the family. It's a whole bunch of incest, but they don't get no smoke. Oh, but two hands. He fought a Chenko coming off the War of a Lifetime versus Triple G. Yeah, the PBC is absolutely whack, man. And you know, it's amazing. Like, yo, I think I was just saying something about this shit the other day too. I was saying, like, yo, look at how everybody kind of responded. Look at how they all fucking responded. Like, no, look at how Jamal Charlo responded to after going through that fucking war with Sergey Derevyanchenko. You would have thought he'd accomplished the greatest feats that modern day boxing has to offer. Right or wrong. This dude was so happy that he made it through that nobody could convince me different. Nobody could tell me any different. I know for a fact that he was nervous before he fought that fight. I know leading up to training camp and everything, he was worried about dude. And he was worried about dude for how dude went at Triple G. He didn't know if he could really beat dude or not. When he walked out of that shit, it was more like a sigh of relief. On an abysmal doubleheader fucking pay-per-view with a bunch of seemingly fixed fights. We love Jamel, but shit, that fucking main event was weird. Yo, you really don't know. You really don't know what's real over at the PBC. Do they got real management? Do they got real promotion? Shit, do they have real fighters? For real shit. It's a question I need to know. Stephen A. Smith is a clown. American mainstream boxing guys are really casuals these days. See, it all falls. It falls into play of the agenda for real. Media outlets, so big social media platforms that all are surrounded in talking boxing. They all have an agenda. They all have a direction. They all have this. They all have this undercover psyop that you just don't know what's going on. That they're working on you, the consumer, you, the fan, you, the motherfucker who love this shit. That really love boxing, not worried about the show business aspect of it, just wants to be entertained by good fights. They take advantage of you. It's a fucking mental war on you. With every fucking media clipping, with every pundit that goes up there and he speaks, yeah, they're working on you. And they want your mind to drift in a certain direction of shit that fits their agenda. They don't want you talking about anything that's gonna put Canelo in harm's way. They don't want you talking about anything that's gonna fucking tarnish how anybody feels about Ryan Garcia. They don't want you to say anything that's gonna diminish the way Jamal Charlo fucking looks out here. They want the world to really believe that Canelo is ducking Jamal Charlo. They want people behind the idea of Deontay Wilder getting a shot at the loser, whoever loses this fight. And the guy sat out over a year now. This is the shit that they do to get you to focus on corny shit so they can move these fake ass boxers the way they've been moving them. And you can think they somebody. Well, guess what? I'm here to tell you, it's worked. It's been working for a very long time. Now the shit is just messy. The young cats are putting are giving a bad name to the veterans right now. They are. They're making the veterans look bad. So for all the for the young fans that's coming up with a young future aspiring boxers and shit, yeah, you might have a chance. But for the people that's paying attention to boxing right now and shit like that, and the Errol Spencers of the world, and the pussyfoot and Sean Porter doing, and all of these other motherfuckers, the weird shit they doing. Teofimo isn't exempt. It's a state of emergency. Like the young guys shouldn't be showing up the guys that have been here and been established and stuff like that. That's why the media wanted to bring them along slow and say, oh, Teofimo, not right now. Wait. Devin Haney. Oh no, it's too soon. Wait. Ryan Garcia, Luke Campbell. Wait. Try to make Luke Campbell seem like he's just some fucking just some Debo in the game. They want them moving slow because if you see what they're doing, and then you have to look at their peers, and you got to ask yourself, man, these motherfuckers is fighting these motherfuckers. What the fuck is that guy doing? Yeah. It's going to have to make them work harder. They don't want to work harder. They want fucking 70-30 fights. The 70 is always in their favor, considering the opposition. They don't want any risk of losing. They don't want to have to go out and earn their money. They want greatness given to them in the form of green dollars. They don't care about the other shit. Man, that's easy work, man. And everybody, and like, yo, you want to know what really trips me out, right? It's the same shit with the Luke Campbell, Ryan Garcia experience, man. It's just like, oh well, he's a ranked guy, man. He's tough. He's gonna go out there and blah blah blah. Man, shut the fuck up, man. That's what I'm thinking in my head when motherfuckers is talking to me like that. Man, shut the fuck up. That shit is hot air, pass gas. Because the motherfuckers in the top 10 and top 15 don't make them great. Deontay Wilder was your champion. Did you guys just not learn anything from all of the fucking time you spent stressing and calling this motherfucker a bum, saying this dude fought how many tomato cans and shit like that? So was we supposed to be geeked up over a guy who just consistently loses every time and y'all put him in position? Who's had more fucking opportunities, you know what I'm saying, to make something of himself than a lot of guys at 135. Man, shut the fuck up. Just because the nigga's a top 10 and top 15 fighter don't mean that he great. Just because you understand it don't mean that he nice. Kambosos is gonna get worked. And if he don't get worked, the same type of shit that y'all gave Teofimo for Nagatani will be the same type of criticism that I will be giving Teofimo for George Kambosos. Because then I will truly feel like it's warranted. It was the biggest fight. Mine nobody in America cares about. Tyson Fury keeping it real, bro. So Crawford versus Spence. How big is this fight in the States? My casual friends have never heard of these guys. I'm struggling to see how this is a bigger fight than Joshua versus Fury. No. Errol Spence versus look, that's another thing Stephen A. Smith needed to get about his mouth too. Dude, stop talking about fucking boxing like, yo, the fight the world motherfucking wants to see is motherfucking Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford. Yes, hardcore boxing fans and American boxing fans alike, casual, yeah, they want to see fucking Errol Spence versus Terrence Bud Crawford. We want to see it. There is no reason why that fight should be going on. But you're dealing with a global superstar. And you're dealing with another guy who's becoming a global superstar who's just made his bones fighting in America, beating, you know what I'm saying, the American fucking, the so-called fucking Alabama swamp water king and Deontay Wilder. You can't take a person who fills up 90,000 seats on average and then even mention a guy who don't do that shit, who can't get a fucking fill up outside of Nebraska, and a guy who can't get a fill up outside of Mikey Garcia. You can't, that shit don't make, so no. Anthony Joshua was more known over here than Terrence Crawford was more known over here. If that puts anything in perspective. Anthony Joshua was more known in a state where he doesn't even reside in than Terrence Crawford. The problem is promotional companies are comfortable with saying, fuck you, fuck you, you know, from both sides of their disrespected sides of the street. And they'll just sit there and just say, oh, this person doesn't want to fight. This person doesn't want to do this. They aren't willing to pay over a top rank or whatever, whatever. I only fight for the black guy, this and that and this and that. They don't realize every fucking dart that they throw from one side of the street, or every bullet they fire from one fucking side of the street to the other side of the street, all they are doing is diminishing their business and diminishing the value of their fights, because the whole world is sitting on the outside of it looking in like shit. We know we ain't getting these shit. This ain't nothing but a bickering bunch of activity, a bunch of motherfucking gangsters who pretty much operate, change rules, put belts where they want to put belts, put divisions where they want to put divisions, and just operate within those, within it any way that they fucking want. Nobody knows what's going on. Fighter doesn't have it, you know, most fighters don't even have a solid schedule, don't even have a fucking date. So when the rest of the world has to look at it, it's like it's messy. Where do we start? Because promoter to promoter, they don't want to give you no results. All they do is shit on one another. So if I'm on the outside looking at that practice and I'm like, all y'all motherfuckers do is shit on one another, then, you know, how are we even going to get to a point to where we even want to see these fights? Because for real, the only person that's bitching about Errol Spence and Terrence Bud Crawford, and like once again, casuals and your respective country and other individuals' respective countries don't know who they are. Because you want to know why? Because people too busy telling you why these motherfuckers shouldn't fight. Promoters are too busy saying why these motherfuckers, this shit don't matter. When you're referring to when you're referring to anybody in your business as a chitterling dinner, you're playing yourself. Because if the person that people want to see you fight, which is your peer, is nothing more than a soul food chitterling dinner, and you're not fucking filling up 60,000, 90,000 seats, filling out 20,000 arenas, the world doesn't know your name like that, then what does that say about you and your profession as well? So once again, fuels a fire of why motherfuckers casually don't give two fucks. Shit, Ron Garcia can get motherfucking. He can get 3 million people. He can get 20,000 people in a live at night to just watch him talk his little cutesy bullshit on YouTube. But motherfuckers can't get. But when it come down to it, that just shows you the power. The people with certain power, they don't do shit with it. This is where I'm going with this shit. Ron Garcia got multi-million fucking Instagram followers. He's got a successful YouTube channel, you know, that everybody tunes in for, thousands of people in the live on a regular night. Ryan Garcia would rather spend his time shitting on the other fighters in the division, talking about himself, bigging himself up in third person, than making the fight between him and Devin Haney bigger, or saying, I'm the interim champ, yo, we need to do this or do that. But he's entertaining talking about guys that shouldn't even matter to him right now. Instead of Devin Haney, who's pushing to get the fight, you got the interim belt and the straight path to him. But you talking about Tank Davis, Javier Fortuna, and all this other stuff. Tank Davis wouldn't work out. You revisit it. You didn't revisit it. You in the Javier Fortuna fucking chair. You're not even making Devin Haney like he's a priority or anything. And both of y'all got buzz. Both of y'all got social media followings and shit like that. So on one behalf, you got one father and one son who's trying to put everything into the fight. But then you got another guy who's built his own social media machine and shit like that. Girls like him because what he looked like and all of this other stuff. And, you know, he's got a whole country behind him, 2 of them to be exact, and everything like that. But you're putting your energy into telling people why you the fucking best for all the wrong reasons. So what these motherfuckers gonna say? Oh, he ain't shit. Ain't nobody worried about that or whatever, because their own fucking fighter ain't even worried about it. Nah, Ruiz ain't no bum. I'll be the first to tell you that. Ruiz is far from a bum. You know what I mean? If anybody think that Ruiz is a bum, you really need to go back and watch him fight for real, for real. People always be putting this word bum on people who really ain't bums, and I can't stand that shit, man. Motherfuckers really got to start like I don't know, like what make Ruiz a bum? This is one of the things I think Fury is pissed at. He beat Wilder and thought he become a star, but he's still not mainstream. And it's flogging his merch. And so Wills against AJ doing collabs with Hugo. Look, you can be as envious, you could be as envious of the individual and the mega machine and promotion that he has become and the following that he's amounting to. Look, we all ain't gonna look like Adonis when we born and everything else. And if you live a sheltered life, if you was born in the fucking country, you probably thought every white person you ever seen, every black person you ever seen, every fucking Mexican person you ever seen was beautiful if it was based on seeing them in a Hollywood fucking movie. But then you come down to realize, hey, when you come in contact with some of these people, wow, there really are ugly motherfuckers in the world. And then you come to find out that, hey, they just ain't you this ugly. Well, in Tyson Fury's case, look, Josh, what happens to be born with this looks, you happen to be born with this type of fucking comedic fucking value and full of so much motherfucking shit. You could be back, you would back up a toilet for a fucking week. I mean, y'all just ain't built the same. Y'all don't look the same. People, y'all don't got the same personalities. We all different. Shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, everybody ain't born to look good. Everybody ain't born to have a mass following. But if you want to use Tyson Fury, he said some anti-Semitic shit. He said some homophobic shit with the climate we living in. So all of the strikes Tyson Fury got to take, he got to take them shits on the chin on behind what he do and just stand on that shit. Motherfuckers always jealous ones always going to envy. But shit, for real. Look, man, if you want to be number one in your respective country, there's only one way that you gonna clear that shit up, right? There's only one way they're gonna clear that shit up. And the only way them motherfuckers gonna clear that shit up unless they go to war. So all the bickering, all the talking, all the little cutesy shit and all of that shit, it's just like, yo, kind of like what you just said. Like you could tell that there's some jealousy there. First it was pricey. He had a problem with David Price because everybody picked him. Everybody picked David Price over him to go to the Olympics and shit like that. He felt like they shut him out the Olympics because he was traveling people and all of that shit. So Tyson Fury has always carried that. I don't know if he, how some people like Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, and all of them will use some type of excuse to keep a competitive edge or some shit like that. Maybe he uses that as something to keep him like charged up. I don't know, but at the end of the day, it sounds like a bunch of motherfucking puppy dog tears to me. Facts. There only could be one Don. There only could be one. There only could be one king. You know what I'm saying? It's just like it's like this. Just like lions in the fucking jungle. There can only be one king per pride, man. You got to go survey fucking 100 miles out somewhere else, 50 plus miles out somewhere else. We can't exist in the same spot. Your clan and my clan, we can't exist. If that's the case, we're gonna have to rumble. Niggas gonna have to figure out who it is. I just wish they just cut all of the shit. Like it's like, man, Eddie Hearn, like stop fucking coming out like making an announcement of an announcement, bro. It's like you got a big announcement of a big announcement, bro. I'm tired of hearing that shit. All these promoters do that shit. Like, yo, it's a big pay-per-view being announced this week. Okay, so you just made an announcement of an announcement. Okay, great. Eddie Hearn, you've done this shit about 3 weeks consecutive. I understand advertisement goes into it and the people are hanging on to it. So every little word at the same time, it gives people a little bit more hope that we're getting closer to it. But you just made an announcement for a big announcement about a big announcement. Like, they ain't telling nobody nothing. It's just the same shit. With other sports, you can be in the news every week. Just being in the team. With boxing, you disappear after a fight just because there's other fighters fighting. A lot of boxers struggle with that. It is, and I mean, you got to think, man. Boxing, it's a worldly thing. It's a worldly thing, but the people that get attention, they only getting it on exactly what Don't Ask Me said. Shout out to you. You're only getting it on that evening, or if your fight's big enough, or if you big enough on a totem pole, or just happen to be blessed, you know what I'm saying, to get in a position to get a title, you're gonna get to be able to promote it and press it up that week. But just for us knowing that and that being stated, you got to talk that shit up that much more, man. You got to take advantage of those. You got to take advantage of that time. And yeah, a lot of fighters, man, it's not a they ain't big money makers, man, and a lot of eyes ain't on them. So of course these motherfuckers are not dumping unnecessary advertising money into these dudes and shit like that. And I know that shit hard. It's a fucking hard business to make it in, man. And yeah, you got to take advantage of every little bit of time you got because most of these guys, the only camera time they getting is the night they fight or the week of, and most of the time they on the undercard. And you ain't getting that much spent unless you co-main or main event. If you're not, you're lined up in chairs with a few other motherfuckers sitting right there with you. And it's who they feel like they want to ask questions. It ain't necessarily about you. And not everybody coming to this shit, blue chip prospect, medalist, and stuff like that, that's gonna get on that fast track train. Two hands, do you think your boy Al Cron can do real damage at 135 after that beating from Valdez? Man, shit, man. He got to show me he even had heart to even to come back after ass whooping like that. Like you honestly got to look at a dude, man. You honestly got to look at a fighter and just see where the fuck he at after taking a devastating ass whooping like that. That motherfucker gonna be like he gonna be out of it for a brick. I don't know. I don't know if there's a place in it for 135 for Burchell. After that, L, like who he gonna fight? Right. I don't know. Like shit, Shakur Stevenson already on Valdez head. After seeing what I just saw, shit, fucking Valdez can't beat Shakur and fucking Burchell can't beat Valdez. So shit, that just marks him out of that equation. Frampton and Heron fighting tonight. I don't know, man. I just don't know what it looked like for I don't know what it's really gonna look like for Burchell. Man, this trainer should have saved him. Guy's legs were completely gone. And his career real rap. Yeah, when he got struck with that, when he got blasted with that fucking right hand, and his face hit that motherfucking mat, I said this motherfucker might be dead, man. And if he ain't dead, this motherfucker might be in a coma. He got hit too fucking hard. For real. That round, like you trying to, cause I know what it was, man. Burchell, he trying to get a champion the benefit of the doubt, but you didn't want to break your own fight of heart. But telling them, bro, it's over, yo. We gotta just chalk this shit up. This a L, bro. You are out here getting your ass whooped. Not like you getting your whole ass whooped. Like we just gotta write this off as an L, bro. I can't see you take no more punishment like this. He should have Buddy McGurk that dude, man. You know what I'm saying? Buddy will tell you real quick, like, yo, I can't not, I'm about to pull it. You know what I'm saying? Because you're taking too much punishment. Man, shit, Burchell just stayed around. Like it got to a point to where Burchell stayed around any longer. I knew that shit was coming. I knew that type of devastating blast in the face was coming because you're in like what, eighth, ninth round or something like that, ninth, 10th round. You got to fight with a sense of urgency. You know you can only get it from a knockout. You already fucking got your brains rattled several fucking times. What else can you do other than charge in and get blasted to sleep? The only thing that nigga was missing was the Snuggie and the stuffed animal. Shout out to my pillow. I never consider Fury an all-time great like his fans boys. What all-time great? Never defended the title. Yeah, you got a point there. You got a point there, and that just goes back to what we were saying on Ripper Gang Radio, I believe, on the Terrence Crawford episode on 17, I think. I was just saying, I was like, yo, it comes to a point to where it's like, yo, motherfuckers got to stop being fans of boxers and just once again being fans of the integrity and just the succession of the sport. Because y'all motherfuckers got so much love for these fucking fighters that y'all so blinded from fucking giving them any proper criticism or even being able to fucking hear it. You don't want to hear it because it fucking hurts your fucking gut. You existed in this world we live in, and this fucking cancel culture has made you completely soft and too fucking comfortable. Where you got to be fucking your ego has to be fucking stroked 24/7. You don't want to hear him talk bad about all you want to hear this dude in high praise. Well, guess what? High praise doesn't help anybody get better. It only blows their head up even more. So it's like, yo, what's the fucking point half the time? Because you're talking to people that don't want to hear you anyway, and all they're gonna do is call you a fucking hater. Like, yo, to put Fury in the realm of an all-time great is a disrespect to all the all-time greats and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause to say Fury's in rare company that only a couple of heavyweights have done to hold, every fucking title and all of that shit, Ring Magazine included, or whatever the case may be. It's just like, okay, yeah, but how did he do that shit though? He beat Vlad, had a nice vacation, came back, fought 3 bums, and beat Deontay Wilder. Is that how we gonna look at it? Because events do take place in between all of that shit. So no, Fury doesn't get all-time great representation from me. They don't get that. And once again, that goes back to motherfuckers all the way gassed up because, like I said, just last year, nobody liked that dude. Nobody liked him, and half of the individuals that were tuned into the fight, they were so much of Deontay Wilder fans, being more fans of the fighter than the sport, that they were so emotionally driven to wanting to see Fury get knocked out. They didn't care about nothing else because they was too busy just high off of that Deontay juice, high off of that Deontay right hand juice. Couldn't believe nothing could go wrong with him. Then when that motherfucker computer malfunctioned and you jump on the Fury train. Now Fury's the greatest thing you ever seen or something because he smited the diabolical right hand. Come on, man. If that's the way you're gonna kick it, you're gonna be disappointed and you're gonna be hopping from dick to dick in boxing from the rest of your life. And I promise you it ain't healthy. Wilder needs a new trainer. I suggest Teddy Atlas. He needs a motivational speech. Look, the only thing is, you could talk to this dude. You could tell him all of the stuff he needs to hear. Wilder's already been groomed to walk into every position and to feel as though, nobody can tell him anything. And he has the bodyguard of his ego always right next to him, which is JD's. Ego stroking him, telling him you're doing everything right when he's doing everything completely wrong. Telling him that nobody should even think about approaching him if they want to keep his fucking job. So where's the integrity? So even if Deontay Wilder got a different coach, you got to understand that Teddy Atlas isn't an individual who's going to be willing to accept that shit. Teddy Atlas already makes a very good damn life for himself. He's already established as one of the greatest coaches to do it. So when you put all of those things in perspective, there's one guy that ain't willing to put up with your bullshit. We're talking about a 30-year-old man here. Teddy Atlas ain't coming in to fucking hold your hand. Teddy Atlas is the one individual that cares about all of the fundamental aspects about boxing that creates better human beings, not just a guy who makes some money. So if Deontay Wilder isn't genetically made up of things that make him a productive, great human being in boxing, man, Teddy Atlas will walk right out that fucking door on the first day. It's like, man, Deontay Wilder, hey, this is what they created. And what they created is what they're going to continue to deal with. And he ain't going to look, man. I don't wish L's on nobody, but we can literally see that this dude is karma is taxing that ass right now. This dude is literally a walking L. He might as well tattoo that shit on his forehead. But he's with Chisora now. He might convince him to end his gatekeeping duty. He might just do so. But man, look, the way Derek Chisora always happens to land, you know what I'm saying, on a good side of a pretty decent contract, considering his record and the things he's done right now. Shit, I don't think anybody gonna turn Derek Chisora away from that money that he getting for real. Like, you know, his last fight against Usyk wasn't that bad. I was more disappointed in the way Usyk responded in that fight. So, you know, hey, Derek Chisora, man, look, hey, I'm happy for Derek, win or lose, because he always, you know what I'm saying, Eddie keeps him around a pretty good check. So good for that dude. Well, he can make, you know what I'm saying, he can make something of himself in boxing. And if he wants to be, you know, hey, the routine stationary gatekeeper for UK heavyweight boxing, hey, man, more power to him. As long as it's in the realm of him consistently getting those good looks. But some dubs gonna have to come off there. I think Chisora just happened, the performance that he just happened to put up against Usyk and the way people question Usyk, I just think that just kept Chisora in another fight and another respected fight. So now you about to get a Joseph Parker check, man. Shit. Chisora always landed the right spot, man. Shout out to him. That's what I'm saying. If you're smart, you stay away from him because I'm a fan of I'm a fan of like yo of insight. And if I listen to everything Mark Breland said, and you know, we normally try to judge people or make um our best hypothesis or whatever, or our best decisions off of the person we tend to have the best sense of morality. And it seems like the most level-headed individual and the person with the most accolades and accomplishments was Mark Breland. And if you listen to everything Mark Breland said after suffering in silence for God knows how long, riding for this dude, being delusional for this dude, that's where you fell short, Mark. I would have to say that I'm like, yo, all of that shit Mark Breland went through, yo, any trainer would be stupid as hell to want to put themselves through that shit. You would have to be a fool. I wouldn't want to go. Look, the Deontay Wilder experience is fucking overrated. Overrated. Imagine the people you're gonna have to surround yourself with. Imagine the legion of misfits is gonna be surrounding you. Go from having a normal life to waking up in the loser's twilight zone. That shit is spooky. And to walk around, basically being a fucking baggage claimer, carrying this dude jockstrap, lying for him in every interview at every turn you could get, or suffering from having to inhale all of his delusions at every fucking chance you get. Man, please do yourself a favor if you're a trainer, if you anybody who doesn't have gray hair that they can really, you know what I'm saying, risk to throw away. You want to stay far away from that motherfucker. Because if you don't, he's gonna push you to an early grave. It is, man. It is because you don't look. Yo, like being a coach, man, you're supposed to build somebody. How do you like? You're supposed to build them, help them with their deficiencies and stuff like that. Like a coach is, of course, they coach when it comes to the sport, but then also, you know, other things fall into place as well. How do you help an individual like that? Like, what can you teach a person who feel like they know everything, even in loss? They feel like they were drugged. The suit was too heavy. Uh, Mark Breland was jealous. Everything was wrong with everything else in that night but me. How do you sign on to deal with an individual that thinks all of that shit? You can't teach them nothing. And that's where it's just like, yo, I'm never the type of motherfucker who would tell you like this person is unmanageable, this person is uncoachable, but he is literally uncoachable. You can't coach him. He knows it all. That's why he's always going to be destined to crash and burn. And if you a coach of any type of status, you got to ask yourself, well, I'm never going to see a title out of this motherfucker. Um, really, how great of the payday is going to be when he's already turned down the nine-figure big contract that would have set us straight, or whoever his coach would have been at that time. Like, where's the benefit? Where am I going to benefit from dealing with you at this point in time? Where is the benefit? No titles. Your money gonna be sus. You got to deal with fucking. You got to deal with his the person who fucking carries his nuts for him as he walk, and JD's like that shit is a sinking ship. It is a sunken ship made to look afloat. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like one of those cars that, like one of those first cars you buy. Like when your parents always tell you, like, yo, get the car with the low mileage and shit like that, the cheap one, but it's only got 30,000 on motor. It might look like a bucket or whatever, but you looking at this fucking car because it's got the nice paint, might have some rims, or it has a system in it or a head unit. The head unit don't make the fucking car run. But because it has a better looking outer aesthetic, you're paying more attention to that than the inner workings of the car. So you go buy that motherfucker and it crash out on you in a couple miles. Yeah, the motherfucker look good until you try to throw that bitch on the street through a rod straight through the block. That's Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder is that fucking car that might look aesthetically pleasing on the outside, but that motherfucker about to throw a rod through the motor. And then you pass up on the other kid who you could potentially really make something of. You're not going far with that dude, man. That dude is 3 flat tires on a dump truck, man. You're not going nowhere with that guy. So I think even coaches probably sitting back like, I, that's probably why he probably hasn't even fought for real. I didn't even think of it like that. He probably ain't even been in a position to get another fight for real because obviously, he must be mentally okay. He thinks everybody fucking drugged him and all of that shit. He's back to thinking, he's got the power and all of this other shit. So that's just the way he thinks. So God forbid we can't be saved from that. But maybe it's just that he can't find a respectable coach that wants to take on those type of headaches. Because if you weigh out the pros and cons, who wants to take on that situation? It can become very messy very fast. As soon as you sign on, you going like, yo, the coach always gets the short end of the stick. You sign on with that dude, nigga, if anybody going to draw straws, all them bitches is going to be cut. No matter however you look at it, everybody born to lose with this dude at this point. If you had to fake it to make it the entirety of your career, you can't tell me that now that you can't even tell me that you ain't even identifying as real now. So if you had to fake it to make it, there is no chance that me and any other successful coach, or you, any other successful coach can make it real right now. Where they do that at? $42 nubs and he's still not running right. Take that wreck to the junkyard. Facts. He's a Geo Metro operating on 2 cylinders right now. You can't grow. You can't grow with him. Coaches are older, man. I got several other fighters and shit like that. And then you got to ask yourself, man, is this the headache I want? I'm sure he's probably already called out, reached out to several people, try to get back in the ring. That's probably what's probably fucking up his journey right now, because he probably dancing around the ring right now while JD's got on some pads, doing some awkward shit, pretending like they're training. When all I'm hearing, and every time I look at these fools trainers, all I hear in the background is, there's my best friend. Goofy shit. The shit these two dudes do together, you like, for real. Who's sniffing whose ass here? Like, yo, you are taking on. Fuck, that ain't even a fucking project, man. That's a lifetime. That's a lifetime of fucking bad karma. Like, I seriously, y'all, I mean this shit from the bottom of my heart. Anybody who takes on that project had it coming. They were a real life piece of shit behind the scenes, and we just didn't know about it, because purely that is bad karma. It would have to be. I wouldn't know how any way other to kick it. Because who the fuck is taking on Deontay? Or you were living under a rock and you don't know the things that we know. He's going to have to be deaf, dumb, blind, and stupid with a seeing eye dog that don't even have fucking eyes. Like, you to take on this job. The seeing eye dog couldn't even see. You had to be that type of new stupid. And don't like look, for all you Deontay Wilder fucking toilet paper fucking, all you Deontay Wilder motherfuckers who like to, carry his motherfucking wet wipes and wipe his ass for him and shit like that, and just thinking I'm bashing him. No, when I'm taking that pause for a second, I'm really thinking of a way to where I can say, hey, on both sides of the spectrum here, is there any way that this can work out for this guy? No, it can't. I try to find something that maybe y'all can work with, but there is nothing that you can work with, because he hasn't given you anything that you can work with. So if he hasn't given you anything to work with, what do I have to work with other than to tell you the fucking truth? And the truth of the matter is, he don't have a chance. And any coach that takes him on, that's bad karma for that motherfucker times 10. He ain't no warrior. He ain't gonna make you successful. He's gonna send you to an early grave. So all I'm gonna have to disagree with you about Telly. She dealing with a basket case. It must be love. Love is blind. Look, there's a lot of things that Telly Swift probably want to say right now that she probably ain't even saying. While she files her nails sitting next to this motherfucker in their house down in Alabama, she's probably thinking, you're a fucking idiot. You turned down $120 million. And all we got to show for it is this turd of a Bentley truck and this turd of a Hummer. You have completely devalued every piece of property that we have around here because you painted everything brown. Even the fucking house is brown. Dark brown with even darker brown shutters. I'm not making this shit up. This motherfuckers, yo, some. So I even had the question, Telly, shit, Telly, you that stupid too? Because when it came to Radio Raheem in the elevator and they were talking about him fighting Anthony Joshua, she went to immediately rolling her eyes like, oh, shit, even I'm trying to save him from this ass whooping. But so she might not be a gold digger. Because I think a real gold digging bitch will leave a motherfucker who turns down 120 million to take 20. Fuck out of here. She probably wishes she was still Dylan's side piece. Dylan's side piece, Big Baby side piece. Man, hey, look, like I said, it's a couple people. It is a few people in the boxing world that happen to say Deontay Wilder is a country bumpkin Bama who just green, who got gassed up off of getting with her, but didn't know how she was moving out in them streets. I heard Big Baby had it too. Big Baby, Dylan, she got a thing for top 10 fighters. Not Dylan White side piece, man. She was out there Jones. She was out there Jones sucking off the can, man. She was man. God damn. You know, all they gonna let it all be known. She's like, she had rappers too. Let me just put this out here real quick. Not only was it the boxers, but she had rappers too. Can't let her slide on the rappers. If she had rappers, you know what I'm saying, they all the way disrespectful. That means, you know, they was pouring champagne on the booty, disrespecting her face, all types of stuff. They have no chill. This motherfucker said, why to bet on himself like a degenerate gambler. That he did. That he did. And the first fucking roll was an AC Doocy. Bitch lost all his money. It's like, nigga, don't even look at my dice, you bad luck. You can't even look at my dice. Oh yeah, Big Farmer Miller shit. Hey, she probably missing them Big Farmer days. He was probably off a couple of them perks too. Energizer Bunny swag. A couple perks make the plumbing extra work. She been with more top 10. Oh my God, y'all motherfuckers are terrible. Oh my God, the chat is really terrible this morning. She said this motherfucker has been with more top 10 heavyweights than Wilder. Well, you know, it's a disrespect, but it might not be that much of a disrespect because then her numbers are kind of low because, you know, Wilder isn't ever really getting in the ring with that many top 10 heavyweights. So she could probably come out on the other end looking kind of like an angel over here. J Dog salute. She has a king for them top 10 fighters, man. She like to catch the youths. Look, man. Yeah, Telly was sipping on Big Baby. Telly was out there Jones sucking the clambuterol out of Big Baby. She was sucking the clambuterol out of Big Baby. Telly got a hell of a resume. Look, that's why her jaw looks so strong. Fucking with Big Baby, sucking that clambuterol pipe. You know this Telly jawline strong as shit. I ain't gonna lie, she bad though. Even though she got the veneers popping. I mean, like, I ain't even gonna lie. I'd rather a bitch stunt, get a mean root scale, and then try to clean the fuck out of regular Jones and put them fake ass big chiclets in your mouth. Now I understand if you got to do the whole big teeth shit, then go ahead. But if you gonna spend that bread, at least make them joints like try to make them joints look natural. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I kind of feel like a real ratchet for dogging on her. You know what I'm saying? Saying she's sucking the clenbuterol out of Big Baby and shit like that. That shit probably was a low blow, but shit, Wilder's been a fucking low blow to boxing. God damn it, I don't care. I can't stay in full confidence. Yo, this Reaper Gay Radio, we say what the fuck we want. And then as soon as I want to say what the fuck I want, I just back up off that shit like, I deny all of those allegations. I did not say that about that woman. We gonna own this shit. Charlie be loving the crew. Charlie be loving the crew. Who y'all got winning tonight? Y'all got Frampton and y'all got Heron. She said she a fake looking build a bit. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They make those now too. They make those now too. You got to be more careful out here. You might even think a woman, and she might not even be a woman. You never know. These motherfuckers out here nowadays, man. If you ain't grow up with her, you might want to question it. Look, man. I'm with Rachel on this one. I'm with Rachel on this one. Telly's in it for the love. Mr. Pigeon, boxing salute. Telly's in it for the love, man. She's embracing. She's embracing all of the garden hoses, all of the broomsticks, all of the rakes. Eats bananas for breakfast, cucumbers for lunch, pickles for dinner. Woo! Yo, you wanna know I'm real bad though? I'm real bad that Marcellus Wilder really did record Deontay Wilder while he was doing that twerking on Juneteenth or whatever. He was like, yeah, big bro about to go on savage mode. On savage mode. This nigga turn around, pop his ass out, and start twerking. I was like, that's savage mode in 2021? I can believe it. After I just walked in the men's section at Macy's and seen more fucking pink and purple in that bitch than in the women's section. My man said, shout out to the Reapers though. Yeah, shout out to all my motherfucking Reapers though. Five, five. Aaron look real thin. I'm going Frampton. I ain't even going stun. I pick Frampton too because I'm like, yo, if Kendo can apply that lazy ass, sloppy ass pressure on you and make you fucking mentally frustrated to where you quit, where you basically took the easy button out that shit. I'm like, man, that's what Carl Frampton do. So I'm looking at it like this from a standpoint of mental toughness. The fact that he didn't see his last fight through, that dude wasn't skilled. I felt like he should have backed off of it, timed him a little bit better, found his motherfucking spots, and just been a little bit more successful with his punch output. But after you did that, and as much as I love and I respect Semper Fi hearing and shit like that, it's like, bro, I don't respect shit like that. You gotta show me. You gotta show me now. You're at the point where you gotta show me now, because what you just showed me, you took the easy way out. Will do. It'd be one thing. This motherfucker, and then it was like, yo, what really pissed me off was he act like the shit was so bad to where he really needed to quit. No, it wasn't that bad, man. He saw the scorecard slipping, bro, because he was looking sloppy, bro. For real, regardless of how bad Kendo looked or whatever, bro. Like realistically, man, we all was watching that fight. We could see that the scorecards was slipping because this motherfucker was doing more fucking head turns towards the referee, looking for a bailout, than focusing on his opponent and figuring out through the frustrations what he needs to do to come out on top of the shit. The points was there. The shot the knockout shot was there. He just had to fucking find that little bit of extra space and time it. he complaining about this, complaining about that, and shit like that. It's like, bro, you know, I was like, yo, I cut that shit off. When he did that shit, I cut that shit off, man. But I was like, man, I really like dude character and shit like that. I don't want to abuse him, you know what I'm saying? Or do whatever. So I'm gonna listen to what I'm gonna let boxing. I'm gonna let boxing. Hopefully, boxing will take a shot at him for me because I don't really want to do what I'm gonna have to do for real, because I wasn't impressed. And that's just how I feel. That's just how I feel about it. If you didn't impress me in your last shit, if you didn't impress me in your last shit, and I felt some type of way, I got to feel some type of way right now. I can wish you the best. I hope you motherfucking go out there and do your motherfucking thing. But bro, you just showed me a side of you I didn't expect you to do what you did. Our thing is that why does Beyonce has thighs twice the width of his? But she's supposed to though. She's supposed to though. You're supposed to have a girl with thicker thighs than yours. But Wilder just got all around chicken legs anyway. It was like his body was built, he was built like straight up fucking tall, no fucking definition, old brittle bone having boy, man. Like this nigga got chicken, he got teenage mutant ninja chicken legs. Nigga body built fucking frail and abstract as shit, dog. DJ salute. What it do? Oh, it's Easter today. Happy Easter, y'all. My bad. Happy Easter. Am I supposed to do something this morning? Yeah. No, no, no. But yeah, happy Easter and all that good stuff, everybody. Like, here's the thing, man. Now, for the fact that Jamel Herring took the sucker route out the last fight, who's to say that Carl Frampton ain't gonna put him in those same type. He ain't gonna have to go through the same type of shit, if way worse than Carl Frampton. Is he not gonna take the sucker way out tonight? Where they fighting? They somewhere. They in Abu Dhabi, right? Abu Dhabi. There you go. There you go. There's nothing better. There's no better time than family time, especially dad or daughter time. That's just a whole different type of. It's a whole different type of relationship. Any guy who got daughters understand exactly what I'm talking about. Daughters are special, real shit. Like yo, if I got $1 for every time Wilder somebody trashed Wilder, I'd be rich as fuck. We would ball out of control on Reaper Gang Radio. Like fucking call me Daddy Warbucks, cause this motherfucker, like he gets it, and all rightfully deserved. I've never heard one negative remark towards Deontay Wilder that's made me say, like, you know what? That you went a little too far with that shit. Never in life. Never in life. And I don't think I ever will. Unless it's pertaining to like his mother, father, or children. Like, other than that, yeah, Wilder's free game. Assault the shit out of him. Beat him. Beat him. Expose him. Expose him. It's ah! Ah! Yeah, shout out to the homie Keyshawn Davis, man. I like Keyshawn. If anybody hasn't watched Keyshawn Davis, yeah, he's something you should definitely check out. Well, the hardest part of your job is already done, my friend. Pat yourself on the back for saying you raised them and they made it that far. Life is good. New York City time with a New York state of mind. I can dig it. Yeah, my oldest just turned 13 on the 12th. So oldest is 13 and my youngest is 3. Bro, you know hands I was fucked up like Daniel Dubois. I say, yeah, they quit the fight. We can't say they didn't quit. There's always a stop a losing eye. Man, that's bullshit. That's absolute bullshit because how do you know look, I hate when people like say the whole, hey, his eye was messed up or I quit, blah blah blah. Man, I like, he had a fucking maybe a baby cut on his face, and I think he was doing more squinting. We know fucking Jamel Herring has monster fucking abnormally sized crow's feet underneath his eyes that almost connect with the wrinkles on the side of his face. Jamel Herring does have an unusually old face for a guy his age. That dude wasn't swole up like that, man. He took advantage of his frustration and getting up out of there. I don't feel like Daniel Dubois had more of an excuse to lay down and do what he did than Jamel Herring had than Jamel Herring. Now, by all means, you're more than willing, you know what I'm saying? You have every right to think what you're thinking. But for me personally, that motherfucker wasn't in no position to lose an eye or even think like he was losing the eye. I didn't even that definitely wasn't the fucking case. Now, Daniel Dubois' case, we could probably make that case for him a lot more. What fucking Jamel Herring was doing was standing up over in the corner with squinting. It wasn't like he was in a position to where he couldn't get up off his fucking knees and shit like that. It was just fucked up. Daniel Dubois looked like he had Rocky Balboa's freaking makeup artist, you know what I'm saying, uh, attending to him round by round in the freaking fight. Like Jamel, just like I'm just like, dude, that was just a weak excuse. And here's another thing. We always, will reminisce and go back to, mirror what's going on today and try to check it with what happened in the yesteryears in boxing. And I understand, medical advances, they happen to precede themselves from the years before and all of that shit. But let's look at it like this. If we talk about how fighters fought, the level of competition, and how they got down in the ring, and how they didn't give up. Now you compare what Alexis Aguayo won versus Aaron Pryor compared to what Daniel Dubois did, facing a fucking jab that is less than a fucking half a mile per hour, compared to the type of punishment he took in that freaking fight. It don't it like, or even the Kendo versus Heron fight, or any of the wars that we could think of in boxing in years before. It's like, the punishment and the heart don't add up. The level of punishment don't add up. The I'm getting out, you know what I'm saying, safely shit don't add up. I feel like in a lot of cases, doctors should definitely do their job. You're in a business where you're gonna lose your life. You can lose your life in that ring, but you don't know your expiration date or nothing like that. And I'm not look, and nobody can fucking tell me in either one of those positions, either one of them motherfuckers looked like or they felt like they were going to die. Now I've seen some situations in boxing where it looked like a motherfucker was going to die. Now let's take it back to freaking Nigel Benn versus Gerald McClellan. You had to do everything you could possibly do. This dude's neurologically flicking off and everything. And shout out to G Man. He wasn't even willing to give up. He wasn't willing to give it up. Nigel Benn wasn't willing to give it up. I would just have to say the heart's different. I'd have to say the toughness is different. I'd have to say the coddling by the doctors is a lot different. I've watched doctors even jump in the ring when dudes even get rocked or even or I don't know the powers that may be, use them and usher them in there to buy him time or some shit like that. They act like they in more trouble than they do. I feel like a lot of these motherfuckers is actors, or because it's at their disposal, they'll go ahead and take it and use it. And then after it's all over, when it's just like, come on, bro. If you question it, you're like, you know damn well you took an easy way out. I'm not, and I understand what it is. I understand this is boxing. But on my life, yo, I don't feel like I'm a harsh enough critic to where I don't give boxers the respect they deserve when I do feel like they're in trouble. And I don't feel like I'm so hard on them where, you know what I'm saying, I'm not where I'm too hard on him in the sense where I'm just like, oh, two hands, maybe you did go a little too far. Nah, these motherfuckers, like you can see when you can see when a motherfucker is like taking a bitch way out. I don't know. Maybe I might be a little too hard on motherfuckers. But for me, it wasn't enough. I mean, shit. Joe Joyce was getting punched by a heavyweight too. And yeah, but I get what you're saying, TK. That's a fact. This dude, like, come on, man. Yo, y'all not gonna sell me. Y'all not gonna send me up Shit's Creek without no paddle, man. And I'll be damned if I'm jumping off the side trying to swim through that stinky motherfucking shit. We're gonna keep this boat parked right here. Hell no. Look at the fight. You tell me this dude wasn't trying to take a skirt's way out. It was sundress Saturday that evening. He wasn't feeling, I wasn't feeling how he was claiming he was feeling. I could have threw my man, look, I throw I ain't even gonna say that. That sounds absolutely mad. I was gonna say some dumb shit like, man, fuck it. I'll smash my head up against the fucking wall right now. Up against my fucking wall right now 10 times. Throw me in the ring for fucking 3 rounds. Let's go. Those are intentional. I'm willing to hit my head off the wall right now 10 times, get in the ring just to prove a point. That motherfucker shouldn't have quit like that. Tim W, salute, man. Long time no see, man. Glad you're doing all right, man. Glad you were in the building, man. How you feeling? Reaper Gang Radio. We not letting Jamel off the hook. Yo, look. I feel like, D, for real, I feel like I gave Mel more respect by really not even saying anything about it for real. Because that was so that was so outside of the realm of some shit that I would usually do. That I just I disappointed to say the least. Shocked? Fuck yes. If I was shocked, I know D Jeff was shocked. I know motherfuckers in the chat that rock with the Reaper Gang was shocked. It wasn't good though. I think that what Carl Frampton does, we could possibly see it again tonight. And yo, shout out to my nigga Beats, man. Boxing Beats and Rounds, man. Go subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Very knowledgeable channel on boxing. Real spill. Real spill. Even he was just talking about the mental fortitude that Jamel Herring possesses at this current time, because as we always say, we judge an individual off what we've recently seen. We can't put that off. So even when he was speaking in that regard, he was like, yo, I feel like, Frampton edging this thing out. Because, like, Herring looked mentally weak after that performance. I would have to say it's like, yo, if you checking out the hotel that early, nigga, I got to question you. Let's go, Carl. Ronald Fankley with the super chat, with the super sticker. Appreciate you, Brody. You know it. Mmm. Mmm. You talking about that Leeds boy? Talking about that Leeds boy? Shout out to Josh Warrington too. He's going to be in the new the ES Boxing Club video game for PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox S, and Xbox Series S. Okay. You can advertise on River Gang Radio anytime you like. Just put in my little sound bite of my audition. That's all. That's all I'm doing. Got the voice for it too. I could do voiceovers. I can narrate. Hey, just throw me in. ES Boxing Club. Look, I can even be a radio personality. Something to the effects of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. But it'll be great for your fucking game. In boxing, U.S. fighters talk the most. They don't like to fight. They like to talk about B side and A side. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, 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 hey. Let's not talk about my country in that regard. Let's not talk about my country that way. I would have to say this, my brother. Every country has a tendency to do it. Every country has a sucker nigga inside of it. Not just the United States. Every country suffers from a boxer that moves that way when it comes to their politics, or is some way weak mentally and physically by nature. Behind all of that physical stature hides a significantly weak mentally individual. And every country suffers from this. It's just not America. It's in the UK. Shit, how long have y'all been wanting to see Kell Brook versus Amir Khan? I'll wait. It's not just America. It's not the Spanish community, the Japanese community, the Chinese community, the Middle Eastern community, the Russian community, the American. It's everybody. But I think there's going to be a certain level of light shined on the American market, considering where that's one of where the big three plays. Actually, two of where the big three plays. And I mean, fuck, I don't like the way it looks when it comes to certain fighters and when it comes to certain promotional outfits. I truly don't. Because I know the greatness. I'm from a city where one of the GOATs resides. Shout out to Sugar Ray Leonard. I know what it's like to have greats in every freaking weight class, and then you look at what's going on now and be disappointed. But to put that on America, that's what we not gonna fucking do. Just saying, yeah, the waters are a little muddy fucking right now. I don't like them just as much as you, but my country is not gonna take that L. I'm proud, just like everybody else is proud, but I'm gonna give it the proper representation. We ain't all pussy over here in this sport that we love. It's pussies everywhere, every country, every city, every state. It's just now we putting more pressure on the game. We got our eyes more focused on it. Our critique is a little bit more heavy with the modern advances in technology and social media. Thank you very much. We gonna let it be known. We on y'all fucking helmets. But yeah, man, there's sucker boxes everywhere, bro. And there's suckers that hide behind the politics on every side of the street. Those are facts. But we can't be like, yo, America is just solely responsible for it. We got I think one individual, and it's sad, man. It really is sad, y'all, that one individual has put such a negative fucking light on heavyweight boxing in America, on just American boxing, period, on the perception of what other countries think about America. He is completely starting to shift the way we're viewed over here. That toxic. That's the shit I'm talking about right there. That's how much this dude is fucked up the game, man. He got look, the perception has got to be changed. Deontay Wilder has done knocked motherfucking American boxing so fucking far from grace where it's just like, yo, I gotta defend it. I gotta defend it on shit like this, you know what I'm saying? Just so, you know what I mean, people don't forget that it ain't everybody. It's a couple of them. But he's made it so bad and he's gotten so much airtime. And like there's this little legion of foot soldiers called the LD. Yeah. Them dudes done got created out of it. Delusional fans in droves have been created out of it. I'm talking about thousands, hundreds of thousands, channel after channel after channel, but the motherfuckers won't even come together to buy one fucking ticket, pay for one pay-per-view, and they crack stream while they crack stem at the same goddamn time. But support this dude loyal to no fault. He got it fucked up for American boxing. So all of my Americans like, yo, rally up, Slim. Listen to what is going on out here. Look at the perception that this shit stain. That's why I call him Skitty, man. Look at the stank ass shit stain that he leaves from IP address to IP address, from boxing gym to boxing gym, from street to street. All you see is shit stains and crushed cans in every freaking direction in every route you turn. He putting a bad egg on. He putting a bad egg on the home, man. It's fucked up. But that's how long the game has been drowned out because, like, yo, you got, you know what I'm saying? We had to come from somewhere to get here, but at the same time, it's like, yo, new motherfuckers, young motherfuckers only going to pay attention to what's going on now, especially as generations continue to proceed. They definitely not really paying attention to the past or showing a lot of respect for it. I could tell you that much. So currently, you got to have motherfuckers doing the right shit too. Because they ain't really caring about your old ATG, especially these young cats nowadays. And they so ignorant, so stupid, and so full of themselves. They don't really care about how you repped it then. They only seeing how you repped it now. And this is what's been getting the he's what's been getting the airtime. And bickering conversations. Like, yo, this is like 3 days straight now. I've heard individuals bag on the country on behalf of this motherfucker. But it's all on behalf of what he's given us. The American heavyweight champion was the benchmark of everything that is sacred in the boxing world. It all trickles down underneath of that. Viewership, money, everything. It all comes underneath of that. It falls up underneath of that. But then you get a guy who's so fucking delusional. He's delusional about the seats he fills. He's delusional about the money he makes. He's delusional about the fucking the prestige of his belt. He's delusional about how many he fucking holds. He's delusional about being undisputed. He's delusional about every aspect, like every aspect of the road he's traveled to get here. All of the people he's ducked, every fucking thing. Story after story after story after story. Lie on top of lie on top of lie and just completely disregarding what the fucking truth really is. Now, this is what you get. Because once again, the young motherfuckers and the casual people that's paying attention now, that's paying attention to the Joshua, the Fury, the Wilders, the Bud Crawford, the Errol Spencers, the Virgil Ortiz, all of that shit. All they saying is what the fuck is going on in front of them. They sensationalizing the knockouts and the shit that's going on in front of them. Once again, they ain't giving a fuck about our ATGs. So once again, 3 days in a row, I've heard this shit. So it just lets me know how much the respect has been soured on behalf of this motherfucker. Yo, that shit is bad, bro. That shit is bad. The way UFC fighters be complaining about their contracts, you might have more fighters turning back to boxing. America will soon have more depth in the heavyweight division. You right. Everybody, and that's what I was saying. The fucking This is what I was saying. The fucking 10% cap, 90% stupid. The other day, fucking 10% crew. Everybody gets their turn. Everybody get their shot at greatness, bro. You don't know when greatness gonna pull up on you, but when it do, hey man, I hope it's the right way so I can respect it the right way. And I'm cool with everybody getting their turn as long as you rep it right, so I can see the shit continue to move in the right direction. Because we tend to fucking be dismissive of the fact of when the sport has been completely ass on the American side of things for so long, and people didn't want to identify with that shit. The level of fighters we had, the level of competition, the fact that, you know what I'm saying, the heavyweights was just dying out. We didn't have no heavyweight talent. We didn't have a lot of talent around the board, period. That was really standing out like that. Outside of your 147s, your 154s. Like, you're gonna lose a whole, you're gonna you're gonna lose a whole succession of youngins, young prospects that's supposed to come up, that's supposed to fill that gap in heavyweight boxing. Now you got dudes around there that people gravitating to. Now there's gonna be young motherfuckers that's gonna grow up and they're gonna say, yo, I wanna be like Anthony Joshua. I wanna be like Tyson Fury. I wanna be like Bud Crawford. I wanna be like so and so and so on and so forth. They hitting bags, they getting really turned up about what they saying. But that shit could crash and burn if motherfuckers don't make it happen. But what I'm seeing from the Virgil Ortizes, the Ryan Garcias, the Devin Haney's, the Teofimo Lopez's, the attitude and the type of activity that Shakur Stevenson, all these guys want to put together. A lot of young guys coming along, a lot of great talent. Jared Big Baby. It's about to be on and popping. And they fighting too. And they about to make a couple veterans that's been around. Yo, these freshmen in the game, they making y'all look bad. Cause they doing shit that y'all ain't even willing to do. When they throwing fists and y'all just throwing out words, yo, get your shit together. Get your shit together. Cause that's what they doing. And what are these motherfuckers doing? Contractual dispute 10,336, take one. I'm overvaluing my under fucking selling, overzealous bitch ass. Take 1 million. Like it just never stops. Like, I was watching something the other day because I just been really paying attention to this new boxing game that's coming out. Because once again, they had a boxing game in like 10 fucking years. Fight Night Champion being the last one. A real one. A real one. So I've been feeling that shit. Been wanting to talk about it, thinking about ways to do shit on the show with it or whatever. I'm sitting there, but I'm listening to the developers talk about getting fighters on. How would they get the big names on? How do they acquire them? You would think it wouldn't be the hardest thing to do. But word of mouth makes somebody who really isn't somebody just yet. Because comparatively speaking, if you want to compare it, let's just look at the American market. You want to compare these so-called American boxing stars to NBA basketball stars, football stars, American football, European football, you name it, NHL, shit. You just go down the list. I'll even put them up to the biggest freaking stars in motocross, skateboarders. Don't matter. They make a hell of a lot more money than you in a year. In a year, though. Skateboarders. So as soon as you hear, oh, This person might be good in this. Your ego blow up. So you automatically want to get this out the game or whatever the case may be. Y'all motherfuckers don't even have a game. The developers are talking about how hard it is. He said, I can see how hard it is, you know what I mean, for these promoters to even get a fight out of these guys, because as soon as, you know, we try to tell them we want to put them in the game or whatever, the shit that we had to go through, where even sometimes it even got so bad that we had to give them straight deadlines saying, look, we're putting them in by midnight tonight. If we don't hear from you, we're going without you. That these guys didn't even hear from some of these individuals until the last minute. The last minute. Overvaluing your undervalued ass. Overvaluing your overpriced ass. And you ain't worth it. Just because I take gold flakes and I put it on a fucking turd, it don't make it worth shit. It's still shit, right? They even make themselves so difficult to where they're not even thinking royalties. They're not even thinking what they could get out of the game if they do so many DLCs or whatever the case may be. So it just goes back to the problem where, like, yo, these fighters like overvalue themselves, just complications on type of complications. If you want, yo, they about to get, and it's getting to the point to where it's like, yo, who you think Virgil Ortiz is going to fight next? We already know who Ryan Garcia, Fortune is fighting. We know who Teofimo's fighting right now. But shit, Nagatani and Lomachenko and them are fighting. But continuing to look at the production that these young guys are putting forth, let's look at it like this. They continue on with this type of activity, fighting these type of opponents. How many of these dudes that ain't giving you the fights that you want to get are even going to fucking matter? Or going to matter to you, that is. They're going to fade into obscurity. And rightfully so. Because I think there's a push. Not necessarily for, you know, the next. I can't really look at this year, next year, what, you know, the guys that we want to see fight, the modern day fights that we should have that might be fantasy fights. But outside of that, if you look at the prospects, if you look at the younger champions, so forth, there's a push for a level of competition and opposition that will satisfy somebody that might say, if we around shit a few years down the road or whatever. And it'll be more consistent than what you get. Like, I don't even think the PBC, none of that shit even gonna matter. It ain't gonna matter. See what I'm saying? I told you. If I got a buck for every time I just happen to look down and I saw a fucking derogatory Wilder comment, I'd be fucking rich. And once again, all well deserved. On Reaper Gang Radio, on any fucking radio station. It's all well deserved. I fucking love it. This motherfucker said Tyson Fury looks like a correctional officer. God damn. Like, he do kind of, right? He kind of reminds me like I'm trying to figure out what the fuck y'all think he's going for here. Like, because see, that was the main reason I loaded up the live early this morning, because of his physique that everybody's fucking going crazy over, and I just can't see why. What the fuck is he going for here? Like I said, I already know what I'm getting out of this Tyson Fury. Getting Tyson Fury boxing off the back foot, high volume, making sure, you know, he's in shape, his endurance, but I don't know if I like him this small. Once again, I don't know if I like it. We're going to have to see, though. Only time will tell. Yo, what the fuck are y'all talking about? I'm a new fan of boxing, and I heard they said in boxing the heavyweight champion is the baddest man in the world. But in these days, that's not true, because boxing is like WWE now. That's a very true statement. Coming from a new fan, you would still get a lot of hardcore boxing fans that have been around it for decades who would share that, who would share in those thoughts with you. As a matter of fact, we all would. But we're in a process of restoration that I feel like that we're starting to receive. I just think that in campaigning for where my thought process is in boxing right now, and the fact that I don't give a fuck who it is. As long as it's a fucking good 50-50 fight, it's competitive, it's supposed to be. I don't care about fucking wasting my time caring about a person who is wasting their talent or talent that isn't going to be used or talent that's being misused anymore. I'm focusing those who are putting forth the right foot in boxing and focusing on the succession of the sport. Period. So if it's the young guys, if it's all of the guys that don't have all of the, you know what I'm saying, the popularity and the, you know, the necessity and enormity of a Canelo Alvarez or whoever the case may be, fuck them. I'm focusing on who's doing what's right in the sport and what's going on. No longer is there going to be time wasted on, you know what I'm saying, bitching and bickering about what is or what ain't. But once again, boxing is in a process of restoration because you have the Anthony Joshuas, you have the Tyson Furies, you have, you know what I'm saying, you have the young guys, you have, you know what I'm saying, the Virgil Ortizes, you have, you know, the Ryan Garcia, you know, you have the Tank Davises, you got the Teofimo Lopez's, you got the Josh Taylors, you got a lot of people, man. So it's a lot of people for me to focus my attention on who's doing the right shit to where it's enough to where it say like, look, my whole thought process and what I would like to see hypothetically happen is the ones that are doing the real shit are going to push out the ones that are doing the fake shit. And it's going to be so much real it's going to be so much real activity amongst realistic opposition that you'll only be able to focus your time and your attention on speaking on those conversations, because when it's a bunk ass fight with a guy who you know is going to win, that's not some shit that you usually talk about because it's not going to sensationalize any fight of the year type of energy from you at all. So why not just continue to focus my attention or our attention on all the talent that is representing boxing the right way? Because it's a lot of young talent. And if it comes up and it finally starts to buzz, like I see the buzz around Virgil Ortiz, he's going to be a fucking star. We focus our attention there, then fuck them. All of them bitch ass niggas, they going to fade out. They going to fade with the sands of motherfucking time, or they going to come back to the motherfucking game and they really going to take on who they supposed to take on. Period. That's all I got for y'all motherfuckers this morning, man. I'll be back tonight. I was supposed to do like old fucking like I was supposed to do like a boxing happy hour last night, but I got high and I fell asleep. So I'm gonna run that shit tonight. I'm about to go to the liquor store, pick up a couple bottles, and get all that shit set up. And then fucking I'm gonna do that tonight for the Frampton versus yeah. So I'll see you motherfuckers later, man. As we always say at the end of the shit, it costs you nothing to pay a nigga no mind. Happy Easter, everybody. Everybody have a great fucking day. Yeah, man. All that good shit. Yeah, eat some fucking breakfast, man.